That is not proof, people. Understand that. This is just a statement from her lawyer. A statement from her lawyer is not proof of anything.
It sounds like I could hop on Photoshop right now and create equally convincing receipts to what was shown. But the issue was never really about whether or not she was stealing the bike. It was about her behavior. And that has not changed.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the Citi Park Karen situation once again. And the reason why is because there are just some people on social media that simply will not take an L, okay? They just won't take their L and keep it moving and admit that they were wrong. They were wrong about this situation. They was wrong to dox, harass, and threaten this pregnant woman who happens to be white after accusing her of racism and trying to steal a bike from 5 black teenagers, aka 5 young scholars, okay? They said that, hey, she was trying to steal a bike from one of these young scholars, and they were convinced, based off a viral video, that was the case, okay? That she was the aggressor, that she was a danger to these 5 scholars, because apparently white women yelling out for help is a threat to young scholars, okay? And I want to talk about this because despite the fact that the lawyer for Citi Park Karen has come out and basically proven with receipts that she in fact did purchase the rights to ride the bike, okay? The bike did belong to her, okay? Basically proving that, you know what, she was correct to act the way that she did and that she wasn't stealing anything and that racism wasn't involved. You still have some race hustlers like this so-called journalist, okay, who is in denial, okay? They are still doubling and tripling down on their accusations of racism, on this idea that, no, this bike actually belonged to one of these, 5 young black scholars, and that the lawyer is actually photoshopping and making up the receipts, right? The receipts aren't real. The receipts, in fact, don't prove anything, right? And I want to react to this because I want this to stay on the internet forever, right? I want to make sure that when, this becomes indisputable, which it kind of already is, right? Because if you're waiting for these 5, scholars to show up and to prove that they actually had rights to ride the bike, you're going to be waiting a long time, right? You're going to be waiting forever. So I actually want to react to some of the mental gymnastics here that a so-called journalist is doing in order to continue to push this narrative that this woman, the quote-unquote Citi Park Karen, is in the wrong, because it is truly fascinating stuff. And if you take nothing else away from this video, I want you to take this home with you, right? I want you to remember this, because this probably is going to be one of the most important things I ever say on my channel. These people have gotten so damn deranged. These people are so crazy. They're so cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that they push white guilt to an extreme where they're now asking white people, specifically white women, to allow themselves to be deleted by criminals who happen to not be white, because apparently you're so guilty as a white person that you cannot cry for help if your life is in danger. They're basically telling white women specifically, hey, you should allow yourself to be deleted before you dare cry for help if a crime or an act of violence or you're being threatened by a so-called person of color. That is how deranged these individuals have become. And if there's nothing else you take away from this video, take that away from this video.
Would you like to hear from someone who has seen the receipts? Because Monique is a journalist, and she contacted her attorney directly and requested the receipts, and he provided them. And this is what she had to say about it.
Justin Marino is an employment attorney. His job is to help Sarah Jane Comrie keep her job with NYC Health and Hospitals. He's here to help her keep her job. That said, what he presented to the New York Post were 2 receipts that he also sent to me upon my request. He asked that if he sent me the receipts that I not publish them. So I honored his request. I did not publish the receipts. However, I did look at them. The receipts are inconclusive. You can't tell who rented what. That's first and foremost. There's no information indicating an account or anything about who rented the bike. It says nothing about that. One receipt shows a bike that was unlocked and locked right back immediately within a minute. The other receipt shows a different bike, not the same number, was taken out and the person rode the bike for 25 minutes. Again, there's no indication of who rented the bike.
All right, so again, the massive levels of cope here. I want you guys to understand this is what happens when you can't accept the fact that you are wrong. And this is why I'm doing this video. I'm doing this video purely because I want this to stay on the internet forever, because these people are going to delete it, okay? And they're going to try to walk away from this and pretend like, nah, this never happened, right? I didn't go out of my way to try to continue to dox and harass and to threaten and to accuse this woman of being a racist, despite the fact that the lawyer has came out and basically showed evidence that, hey, this woman had rights to the bike, okay? No. These people cannot simply just take the L. They have to now come up with grand conspiracies about the lawyer falsifying, forging the receipt, okay? This is what they're doing. Now, the reason why these people in this situation in the first place is because they lack common sense. These people have an IQ below room temperature, because anybody with an IQ above room temperature could have told you that, you know what, the likelihood of a pregnant white woman stealing a bike from 5 black teens is probably slim to none. Let me be skeptical about this story, right? But no, they ran with it because they love trying to throw out fake allegations of racism, okay? They love it. They love trying to shame white folks for alleged incidences of racism. That's what they love. So they couldn't help themselves. Again, because these people have an IQ below room temperature and they lack common sense, they really think that this lawyer, whose name is publicly known, he's went on national TV, he's went on Fox News, he's went on News Nation, he's talked to the New York Post, he's went on all these news outlets, showing his face, showing these receipts. He is a practicing employment lawyer, right? He has a career, okay? He's not just some dude off the street. He's not some rando. He's a legit attorney. They think that her attorney is going to risk his career and reputation on this national news story, right? In which it is very racially charged. That he's going to fake receipts. That he's going to present receipts that he knows are not real. This is what they're saying, right? This is what they're saying. This is the desperation here, guys. Again, common sense should tell you this lawyer is not going to go on national television and present receipts that are fake. He's not going to forge evidence. Not unless he wants to basically risk his whole career. I don't think that any lawyer is going to do that, right? Whatever he's presenting, you may not necessarily be convinced by the receipts that the situation happened the way that he's saying that it happened, but you cannot sit here and try to say that this lawyer is presenting fake receipts, that he's photoshopping the receipts. That to me is ridiculous. I just don't believe that a lawyer would risk his reputation and career on something like this. I don't believe it.
Here's what you need to pay attention to. Justin Marino is trying to help Sarah keep her job.
Yes, of course, right? He is her lawyer. And I get when people say, hey, well, that's her lawyer. What is he supposed to say, right? He's supposed to come out here and defend her. Yes, of course. But not only is he defending her, he is providing evidence. And these people are saying that he's forging the evidence, that he is falsifying the evidence. This is what they're claiming.
So it is up to him to disrupt the narrative that is out there about her right now. And that narrative is that she committed an egregiously racist act by screaming for help and acting like she was being attacked, when in all sincerity, all they were doing was arguing over a bike. I asked Justin why his client didn't at the time say that she had rented the bike. The young man in the video kept saying it over and over again. So why didn't she say she had rented the bike? He said, oh, well, it was a crazy moment. You know, so much was happening. It was stressful for her. She just didn't remember.
See, again, It's funny how people do this. They love doing this Monday morning quarterbacking, right? They love this hindsight stuff where they try to say, well, why didn't this person do that in the moment? And it's like, well, because in that moment, she was telling them that it was her bike, right? By refusing to get off the bike, right? She was clearly on the bike first. And it's amazing because clearly these people don't care about her feelings. They don't care about the fact that she's pregnant. They have no sympathy whatsoever for what she might be going through or what might be going through her head at the time, considering that, again, she's pregnant and you have 5 black scholars that are basically, again, you could argue maybe trying to rob her, okay, trying to mug her. Who knows exactly what they're trying to do? We don't know what they're trying to do, okay? And people like this woman right here, for whatever reason, can't seem to fathom why she's not screaming the magic words that she thinks that the woman should be screaming at the time. When the woman is clearly showing that, no, I rented this bike. This is my bike. Her refusing to get off the bike and her screaming for help is her saying, this is my bike. Okay? She doesn't have to say the magic words, I rented the bike, right? Or I have the receipt for her to prove or to claim ownership of the bike. Again, these people, you're not as smart as you think you are. Okay, they think they're being deep, right? When you're not being deep, you're just being dumb. Okay, you're being dumb. This is what's happening. You're being dumb.
But that would have been the easiest way to solve this dispute. If she actually had rented that bike and had possession of it, and she could show him that on her phone, because the other young man who kept saying he rented the bike, he was showing everyone his phone to say that he had the bike. So why didn't she do the same thing?
Okay, so why are the young black teens not showing receipts now? Again, it's amazing how this works. The woman shows receipts that, hey, I rented this bike. Proof that she rented the bike, okay? The race hustlers say it's not proof, right? The real proof is that the black teens, the black scholars, they waved their phone in the video saying that, oh, it belongs to me, it belongs to me. So what you're implying is that they have the receipt, right? So why are you not asking them to come out and to show receipts, the real receipts, because you're claiming that the receipts that the lawyer showed were forged, they're fake. So why are you not telling the black teens to come out and to show their receipts? Again, all this could be over by the black teens, the black scholars who go missing action, by the way. And I'm pretty sure that these news outlets are desperately looking for these guys, right? These guys are the most wanted men in America right now, okay? This whole thing can be resolved by these black teens just simply coming out and saying, here's our receipt, right? This is the real receipt. This is our proof that the bike belonged to us. Why have they not done that? Why are you not demanding that they do that? Why is it incumbent upon the woman who lawyered up and has provided evidence that the bike belonged to her and her events, her story is true? Why is it incumbent upon her to continue to try to prove her innocence? Why is she guilty until proven innocent? Why is the accused not expected to actually provide any receipts or evidence? Are these young scholars right just because they're black and they're accusing her of racism? See, that's how they want the world to work. They want people that are accused of racism to prove they're not racist instead of the accusers proving that their accusations of racism are true. It's amazing how this works.
I want people to enlist some critical thinking skills.
Which you clearly don't have, because if you were using critical thinking skills, you would not make this video, right? You would not make this video. You would issue an apology. You would take your L and you would keep it moving and you would never talk about this again. But you clearly don't have critical thinking skills, because critical thinking skills would have led to the conclusion that this story and the way that it was being told and presented from the get-go was BS.
Him saying that he has receipts is not the same as proof. If we were in a court...
Yeah, but see, the black teens waving their phones saying that we have receipts, that's proof. To her, that's all the proof they need because they're black, right? But this white woman has to go above and beyond and provide evidence on top of evidence, okay, that she actually rented the bike, even though all indications are leaning towards her story being true. Black teens can't be found. They're missing in action, but they ain't got to prove nothing.
Court of law, the receipts that her attorney sent me would not stand up in court. If he were in court, he would have to present receipts that were irrefutably from her account. I asked him specifically if those receipts had been verified by anyone, including Citi Bike. Had they been seen by anyone other than himself and his client? He said no.
See, it's amazing. You see how she's framing this? Well, if she was to go to court, she would have to prove that she's innocent, right? Instead of the accused having to prove that she's guilty. That's the way that the actual law works, right? You're innocent until proven guilty. No. This woman is guilty. She got to prove that she's innocent. These young scholars don't have to provide anything. They don't have to provide any evidence. All they have to say is they was racist and that she tried to steal the bike from them, and she has to prove her innocence. This is insane. This is insanity.
No one else verified those receipts, and this is what he sent to me and the New York Post, I'm assuming. And again, these were heavily cropped images. One of the images was also heavily redacted, so you couldn't even see where the bike was picked up or where it was dropped off or even what time, because it was all redacted.
Yeah, so you race hustlers can dox her even more, right? So y'all can know where the bike rack is, okay? So y'all can stalk her out of work, know what time she gets there, know where she lives, right? Follow her. Yeah. The lawyer should put out more information revealing more about this woman. Yeah, that's a good idea, right? That's a good idea. Information that is unnecessary to prove her innocence. Because again, the young scholars have failed to provide any evidence whatsoever that the bike belonged to them. Zero, none. Zero, not a zip. Nowhere to be found.
So, again, or actually, on the second one, you could see the times. You couldn't see what station it was picked up from, but you could see that it had been ridden for 25 minutes, like I said, and that was it. Everything else was redacted. You don't know who rented the bike. That is not proof, people. Understand that. This is just a statement from her lawyer. A statement from her lawyer is not proof of anything.
It sounds like I could hop on Photoshop right now and create equally convincing receipts to what was shown. But the issue was never really about whether or not she was stealing the bike. It was about her behavior. And that has not changed.
Yeah, so, again, moving the goalposts here, right? Wasn't about her stealing the bike, because we know that we're wrong on that, right? But we're going to try to pretend that we're not, because they know that that is what it's about. Because if she didn't steal the bike, if the bike rightfully belonged to her, and then you had random dudes go up to her and try to take the bike, her behavior is 100% justified, right? It's 100% justified for her to call for help. Or is it? Because according to these people, and this is the dangerous precedent they're setting here, if you're white and you're being robbed, mugged, murdered by a black person, right, it's not okay for you to call for help, okay? It's not okay for you to scream and shout for help to potentially save your life. You're supposed to just take it. You're supposed to just get murdered, stabbed, robbed, whatever, right? You're supposed to let whatever's happening to you happen to you, because you crying for help may endanger the criminal, right? The criminal may get hurt. They may get in trouble if you try to save your own life. Amazing stuff. Again, these people are living in the 1950s. They really are. Again, they want this to be the 1950s so bad. And a lot of these people are going to end up getting sued. Again, the reason why I'm making this video is because I want this to stay on the internet forever. Because again, these people are doubling and tripling down, knowing that the lawyer has threatened defamation lawsuits, and they're still trying to mental gymnastics their way through this narrative that this woman is a racist who tried to steal a bike from 5 black teens. And the black teens are currently missing in action, nowhere to be found, right? To show any proof or evidence that they had any claim to that bike. And these people want to talk about critical thinking skills. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. They could surely use some of that right now. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.